Influencer marketing is an insanely powerful tool for brands, but the influencers that you select for your campaigns can make the difference between whether your campaign is a full-on success or whether it's a swing and a miss. Today, I'm going to walk you through exactly how to find influencers for your campaigns if you work for a brand to ensure that any influencer campaigns that you cast really deliver results. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new here. My name is Austen and I am a fashion and beauty content creator based in New York City. I use this channel to help micro-influencers create great content, grow their digital brands, and generate sustainable income from content creation. So if any of that interests you, please do consider subscribing to my channel for new videos every Tuesday. I am an influencer who has been creating content online for almost 10 years, and I still remember the excitement when I got my first email from a brand about working together. Since then, I have worked with dozens of national brands like Amazon, Walmart, Glossier, L'Oreal, and more to create sponsored content to share on my social media platforms. Typically on this channel, I create content for influencers, but I've had a few requests from my friends who work on the brand side to share more insight into how to find influencers for campaigns. And influencers, if you're watching this, please stick around. I think you'll still find this video really helpful, and you'll be able to learn how to attract the brands that you really want to work with. So without further ado, let's get into it. Now, before you even start looking for influencers, the first thing I would ask yourself is what your goal of working with influencers actually is. Do you want to work with influencers because you want content that you can share on your brand's social media platforms? Do you want to work with influencers to create brand awareness for your company? Do you want to work with influencers to actually generate sales? And are you looking for influencers to become long-term brand ambassadors for your company, or would you rather cast a wider net and try to work with many different influencers to promote your brand? I think it's really important to sit down and think about what your goal is so you can clearly communicate it to the influencers that you work with. And of course, asking these questions will also help you decide what type of influencer to reach out to, as well as what your potential budget for an influencer marketing campaign may look like. I just want to make sure we're on the same page with some terminology about the different sizes and categories of influencers. So I consider nano influencers influencers with 10,000 or fewer Instagram followers, micro influencers between 10,000 and 50,000 Instagram followers, mid-level influencers between 50 and 150,000 followers, macro influencers between 150 and 500,000 Instagram followers, and mega influencers 500,000 and above Instagram followers. These ranges may vary a bit in the industry depending on who you ask or talk to, but for purposes of this video, this is how I am going to break down and describe some of the different tiers of creators that you might be wanting to work with. Now that that is all covered, let's talk about how to actually find the influencers that you will be casting to promote your brand or products. And the great news is a lot of this can be done completely for free and in-house just by using Instagram. You can take this same tactic and apply it to other platforms too, but Instagram is still the epicenter for brand partnerships and sponsored content. So I assume that if you are starting out with influencer marketing, that Instagram is probably one of your focused platforms. The first thing I would do is go to your brand's Instagram page and then tap in to see who is already following you. Trust me when I tell you that there is no one better to talk about how great your product or service is besides your own already existing customers and brand fans. I typically find that these tend to make the most organic influencer partnerships, and as the brand, you might potentially have a little bit more leverage when talking to a content creator if you know that you are one of their favorite brands or a brand that they use and love every single day. Go scroll through your Instagram following list, and this does not have to be done completely in one sitting. You can break this up and do it at night when you're watching TV or whenever you have a few minutes waiting for a bus or train or Uber, and just start to understand who is following you and if there are any influencers who are already following your brand and who seem to be fans of what you do. The next thing you'll want to do is go into the tagged photos for your brand. So you can find that on your own Instagram profile, and you can go in and see what people are posting about your company. If they have posted maybe photos where your product is displayed, or if they mention the service that you offer in the caption of one of their photos, this is a great place to see especially what type of user-generated content, or UGC, is already being created by your community. Definitely be sure to go in and engage with any photos that you do see that feature your brand in any way, whether it's a photograph of your product or maybe a mention of a service you offer in the caption. And go ahead and keep track of any usernames, whether you want to do a saved folder on Instagram or maybe create a spreadsheet in Google Sheets to track some of the people who are already posting about your brand, so that you can save the names of your favorite creators and they will already be in a list that you can later access if you decide to start doing outreach or more official influencer marketing. And by the way, while we're talking about creating great images on Instagram, if you are newer to content creation or you want to level up the types of photos that you create on your Instagram profile for your brand, you can check out my free guide, The Influencer Launchpad. There's actually a whole section in there about how to take great photos, yes, even with your iPhone, so that you can really present your brand in a fresh, fun, and unique way on Instagram. So you can grab that free guide from the link down below in the description box if you're interested. What I love about these first 3 steps is these are already looking for people who are fans of your brand already. So there's already a stronger connection between you and these creators who you might be reaching out to. So the third thing that I would do is check and see if anyone is posting content using your branded hashtags. Now, if you don't know that much about hashtags on Instagram, I do actually have a whole video where I talk about how hashtags work, so I will be sure to link that in the description box in case you want to go watch that video next. But you should have a hashtag for your brand. It might just be your brand name, it might be a little variation on your brand name, or a way for your customers to share content that features your brand so that you can see it, and you can actually follow that hashtag from your own profile. So even if you aren't following a creator who posts something and uses that hashtag, by following the hashtag, you will still see it in your Instagram home feed. So for example, I know that the brand ASOS uses the hashtag as seen on me as a way for its fans and shoppers to post and share photos featuring clothing that they got from ASOS. If you have a branded hashtag, this is definitely something I would also include in your Instagram bio for that brand. That way creators know that they can use that hashtag if they want to catch the attention of a brand, or if they want to submit their photos to potentially be reposted. Now, this is where we will start to branch off from people who already use and love your brand into maybe creators who are in the category for your brand but have not yet tried your particular brand or product yet. So as an example, maybe you own a small hair care company and you want to work with beauty influencers. So one of the things I would recommend doing on Instagram is to, again, use hashtags, because hashtags right now are the main way of searching and categorizing content on Instagram. I do hope Instagram is working on improving their search functionality, but until then, hashtags are one of the best ways to find different types of creators or posts that you might be looking for. So you can go into Instagram and search for hashtags that creators are using that might be a bit more general than your brand, but help you narrow down the type of creators or the type of content that you're looking for. Now, there are 3 different types of hashtags that I recommend you look for. The first is a location-based hashtag. For example, hashtag NYC blogger. The second hashtag denotes the influencer size that they are. So especially if you are looking to cast nano influencers and micro influencers, you can search for those 2 hashtags on Instagram to see who comes up. And the third type of hashtag that you can look into is a category hashtag. So in this case, the category might be hashtag beauty creator. Take a few minutes after you watch this video to brainstorm maybe 15 or 20 hashtags that you want to look up later, so that you can start scrolling through images tagged with those hashtags and determine if any of the creators who are posting content with those hashtags might be a good fit for your brand. Another thing you can do is use the Instagram search bar to type in a general keyword, and if the creator has that keyword in their name field, it will appear in the search bar. For example, I believe that my Instagram name field has my name, and then it says NYC Creator. So you might also be able to type in NYC Creator to the Instagram search bar and be able to look through and see who is populating just from that search query as well. Those are all of my free recommendations using Instagram for how to find influencers who I think will be a good fit for your brand. And I know a lot of you guys who are probably watching this, if you work at a brand, maybe work for a smaller or mid-tier brand, and you don't necessarily have the scale or resources that a bigger company might. So I really recommend starting with what I just explained. I think that you will find a lot of success from it. And honestly, just starting to build those relationships is really important, and Instagram makes it really easy to do that with things like comments and DMs especially. Another option for finding influencers who might be a good fit to promote your brand is to turn to influencer platforms. And I recommend this, again, if you are maybe a bigger, large-scale company and you have some budget to invest in these influencer platforms, because I do believe that most of them cost, I don't know what they cost, but they cost money to join. And what this does for you as a business is it will speed up the process of finding influencers, because influencers join these platforms and they're essentially huge databases of existing creators who you know want to work with brands. And it will also help you do influencer marketing at scale. So if you want to work with 1,000 creators on a project, it can be really easily managed through one of these platforms, versus if you are a smaller brand and you want to start out by gifting 10 influencers your product, and you can handle all of that back and forth on your own. If you want to learn more about influencer platforms like LTK4, Aspire, or the Influencer Collective, I do have a whole video where I talk through influencer platforms on my channel, so I will also link that video in the description box in case you'd like to go check it out. One thing to mention about influencer platforms is typically you can set the criteria of exactly who you're looking for, and then based on that, you can either send out direct invitations to influencers or invite them to apply to particular campaigns. So going back to the example of being a hair care company, maybe you are looking for influencers with a 10 to 50,000 follower count on Instagram, also known as micro influencers, to create a 30-second reel showcasing your newest hair product. I, for example, fit that parameter. I can create video content. I have 12,000 Instagram followers. So if I saw that campaign opportunity on Aspire, for example, I would probably apply for it. And then the brand could decide from there if they thought I was a good fit, if they liked my content. As I already mentioned, that does usually come at a cost to the brand. So if you are a newer brand, I really think the first couple of steps that I mentioned in terms of looking for creators on Instagram is a good place to start. And maybe you can even outsource that to a virtual assistant, have them do it for an hour or two a week, and start building a database on your behalf if that's not something you have time to do yourself. And the last thing I want to leave you with in this video is just a quick word about expectations. And again, just being really clear about what you want from content creators and offering them something that feels reasonable and that feels mutually beneficial for both the influencer and the brand. As this influencer industry grows and gains more legitimacy across the board, you should definitely think about if what you're asking a content creator to do is realistic and is a fair ask for them. I'll give you an example of something that I thought was a very unreasonable request from a brand. So a few years back, I got an email from a makeup brand that I actually would love to partner with one day. It is a big drugstore makeup brand. They offered to send me one eyeliner, which retailed for like $5, in exchange for a video and a bunch of different photos that they could use on their social media, in their paid email marketing, on billboards, and all these different things in perpetuity. All of that in exchange for one $5 eyeliner. That to me was just a totally unreasonable request from the brand, where they very clearly benefited infinitely more than I did. And just remember that at the end of the day, every influencer and content creator is a little different and might want or agree to different things. It's not a one-size-fits-all industry. There are nano influencers who might charge a high rate for content creation, and there might be mega influencers who are just doing this for fun and are totally willing to accept free product in exchange for posts. So keep an open mind when you reach out. Don't be afraid to ask influencers questions and try to understand more about their audience. You can always request a media kit or more details from them to make it easier for you to say yes to casting them to promote products or services that your brand offers. I hope you guys enjoyed this video today. Let me know if you have any questions I did not answer in this video or any other topic requests that you want me to make videos about here on my YouTube channel. I love hearing from you all and getting audience suggestions. And again, if you are newer to this industry and want a 101 overview guide to how influencer marketing and influencers kind of work, the Influencer Launchpad is my free guide, and you can grab it from the link down below in the description box. Thank you guys for watching. If you're not already subscribed to my channel, please consider hitting the red button down below and becoming a subscriber. That really helps out my channel and lets me know that you like my content. You can even turn on the notifications so that you never miss a video from me. And please also give me a thumbs up down below if this video helped you in any way. I'll be back again next week with another new video. Thanks again for watching and have a great rest of your day. Bye.